a quid, Green Day, and this bizarre looking alien. What on earth could this strange imagery in this environment help us memorize? That's coming right up.
Words worth remembering, words worth remembering, words worth remembering. Remember them with me and the magnetic memory method.
Hey there, this is Anthony Metivier from magneticmemorymethod.com, and when you look at this, what you've got is the inside of my head for memorizing the word sesquipedalian. And we're going to discuss how all that magnetic imagery works together, how it's working in a memory palace on this episode of our Words Worth Remembering YouTube playlist. So let's start with the actual memory palace itself. Now, this is not exactly the cesspool that I'm thinking of, but it's a representative image. I couldn't find the one that I was thinking of, but I'm sure that everybody has some sort of sense of a cesspool that they could find in their mind, either from a movie or a real location, and they're everywhere, unfortunately. That's just the thing that we deal with in the world. By the way, if you're watching this, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know if you're engaged by, being a supporter and hitting that button. And what words interest you? I'd really love to know down in the comments below. And what's this word sesquipedalian mean anyway? Well, it means given to using long words, like anti-distal establishmentarianism, for example. And I've been known in my day to use long words, and I really like long words, and I really like the word sesquipedalian. So I wanted to memorize it. I wanted to memorize the meaning and the sound in one fell blow. So I started with a cesspool. Now, this isn't the normal way that I would use a memory palace. If you're interested in the normal way I would use a memory palace, head on over to magneticmemorymethod.com/YT and claim this free memory improvement kit that will show you a memory palace creation process and really get you involved in using spatial memory much more strategically than just on a whim and, one place for one word, but rather how you can collect hundreds of words together in a single building, for example. But it's also a good skill to just be able to take a place like a cesspool in the world and start to attach magnetic imagery to it. So when it comes to the sound and the meaning of something like sesquipedalian, well, the actual cesspool is part of the sound, right? Cess. So the cesspool and the memory palace starts to trigger off this domino row of imagery, and then we can just think about quid. And so quid came to mind very, very quickly for me. And then Green Day. And why Green Day? Well, there's a couple of reasons, actually. They are making lots of quips all the time, and there's that day sound, right? So they're not necessarily given to using long words, but I can think of them in terms of just giving words in general, and that helps kick things off, right? So you're using the ground of a memory palace, location-based mnemonic, then you're starting to build on it, and one thing triggers the other in a pattern of basically events, mental events. And you don't have to see this in your mind. You don't necessarily have to have pictures, but you can have feelings, sounds, maybe smells involved, and so forth to help trigger this. And then ideas, concepts are also part of what counts as mental imagery, actually. And so the concept of Green Day putting out quips and using really long words is a conceptual image in the mind, even if it isn't a visual one. Now, what about this alien here? Well, sesquipedalian, and he's got a really long head. So it's not just any alien, but it's an alien with a really long head, which helps get the sound and the meaning together. And you want to work with this as much as you can so that the imagery that you're using helps you get back the sound and the meaning. So it's really that simple. Cesspool, quid, Green Day, day, and alien, sesquipedalian. And it's not a one-to-one correspondence, and you shouldn't necessarily be trying to find one-to-one correspondences, because that can be a path of frustration because they don't exist. And association doesn't even need one-to-one correspondence. It just needs to practice making the associations, and it needs to have practice of recalling the associations and letting your mind fill in the gaps. In other words, if you try to have it all perfect, then you wind up with nothing. But if you develop the practice of just being relaxed, calm, cool, and letting yourself fill in the gaps based on trigger words that are as concrete as possible, real things that really exist, that bring the ideas and the sounds together, you will proceed along very, very quickly. Again, there's a free course all about this at magneticmemorymethod.com/YT. I think you're going to love it. So head on over there and claim it if you haven't gotten it already. And just as a little update, there's a new podcast right now as of this morning, Crossword Puzzles for Brain Fitness, Fact or Fiction. If you'd like to read, you can read through the entire script of the podcast or just hit play, download it to your desktop, get a bunch of episodes together for yourself as a kind of audio book of memory discussion, memory training, and all the issues based around brain health and memory health and so on. You're going to really love it. And while you're here, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, the little bell, and you'll be notified when new videos come out, and especially when we go live on Magnetic Memory Live. The last one we had was a real wild show. We had some great people show up with really profound questions, and we had a wonderful discussion. It's not quite the same if you're not there live, so please do make sure that you hit that little bell so you can be notified. It's the best way. So, a little bit of a review here. We got the cesspool, we got the quid, we got Green Day, and they're quipping away with their long words, and the alien has a long head. So, sesquipedalian, given to using long words. And so, thank you for watching this Words Worth Remembering on this playlist on YouTube. I'm Anthony Metivier. I really want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Again, make sure that you're subscribed. Hit me up with this crossword puzzles for brain fitness, fact or fiction. The link is down in the description below. I'd love to know what you think, what your experience with is for this. And part of my argument here is that doing stuff like this with your brain is going to get you a lot more brain fitness than monkeying around with something else that somebody else created. And you know what? There's some pretty interesting words over here that I know you're going to love in this post that you can also memorize using the same technique you just learned today. So hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Let me know what you think, what you're doing, and how that you can get more help from these techniques. If you've got something really puzzling and challenging, post it in the comments below. We'll pick it up eventually, and sooner than later if you're engaged, if you're involved, if you're subscribed. Thank you again, and until we speak again, keep yourself magnetic.
Words worth remembering, words worth remembering, words worth remembering. Remember them with me and the Magnetic Memory Method.